Hi everyone, it's Red Hill Eagle here. This is episode 6 of Who Hired a Hitman. It's January 1998 and it's the fallout from Starrcade, Monday Night Nitro. Bret Hart is in the ring cutting a self-promo when he is interrupted by the NWO of Hogan, Hall and Nash, rating of 78. And the reason they've interrupted. Eric Bischoff also comes out and then he introduces Kurt Hennig. And Bischoff books Bret Hart versus Kurt Hennig in tonight's main event. 69 rating overall. This is obviously the fallout from Starrcade last night when Bret Hart came along and helped Sting against the NWO. Hot Stuff Hernandez then takes on Sid Vicious in our opening match, and this is just to give Vicious his debut. A rating of 46, not a lot to shout about, but Vicious gets the win in 6 minutes 25 by pinfall with a powerbomb. Billy Graham then interviews the Faces of Fear, the new tag team champions after their win last night against the Steiner brothers, but they're interrupted by Booker T and Stevie Ray, who just give a promo on Faces of Fear. They obviously are now, they feel, number one contenders for the titles. Steiners probably would deserve a rematch of some kind, but the Harlem Heat have been, looking for this opportunity for a while, so they feel they are number one contenders, and they just cut a promo on the Faces of Fear. Overall rating 36, very disappointing. We then have a news segment. Lanny Poffo, he announces some matches for Sold Out, and we have Goldberg versus Regal, and Flair will take on La Parker in a rematch from Starrcade. Rating of 42. The Outsiders then take on Devon Storm and Ron Killings, just to get the Outsiders on the card, really, in terms of actually having a match. So nothing much to say, really. It's just get a bit of overness on the Outsiders, get them a victory. Rating of 47, not great, but I did have them win in 8 minutes and 30 when Kevin Nash pinned Devon Storm. The Steiner brothers are then backstage with their manager Ted DiBiase, and this is just an angle really to kind of deal with the fact that the Steiners lost their belts last night, and Ted DiBiase as their managers, trying to keep their heads up and come on guys, we'll pick this up, we'll get those belts back. You guys are the best tag team in the business. You got the best manager, if I may say so myself. We'll get those belts back. Just don't worry about it. Just it's disappointing to lose them, of course, but it's just a backstage segment really of DiBiase, just trying to jeer the Steiners up. And so a rating of 40. Diamond Dallas Page then promotes some upcoming WTW live events. We've done this angle for a while. It's just to get someone else on the card. It's just to use up some angle time. And it's a rating of 61. Steven Regal then takes on Rick Martel. And, decent reaction from the crowd, but embarrassing wrestling, it says here. Steven Regal getting the win in 8 minutes by submission. 39. Yeah, that is pretty terrible. I want to get Steven Regal over. I want to start using him. I can't imagine why this. Really? 39? Embarrassing wrestling. I don't think I've ever seen that note before. I've seen terrible wrestling and, awful wrestling, but embarrassing? Wow, I'm hoping that's Martel. I'm surprised because I always thought Martel was a pretty decent worker, really, and I'm hoping that's not because of Regal, because Regal's the one we want to push. Gene Okerlund then interviews Eddie Guerrero regarding the Cruiserweight title, and Disco Inferno is the one who comes out, interrupts, and makes a challenge for Sold Out. So, Guerrero versus Disco Inferno at Sold Out for the Cruiserweight Championship, a rating of 33. Saturn and Sick Boy then take on Glacier and Ernest Miller in an abysmal match. Glacier and Ernest Miller defeat Saturn and Sick Boy in 5 minutes 4 seconds when Glacier pinned Sick Boy, but he did use the ropes for leverage. Now, 29. This is bad. And I know that these guys, all four of these guys, are pretty low down the card. I wasn't expecting much. And it is just a case of, just trying to get some of these tag teams over, trying to bolster that division a bit and get some of the workers that are quite low down, just to get them up the card. Hopefully this has given them something, but it's not looking great, is it, guys? Not looking great. Raven's flock, consisting of Raven, Hammer, Kidman, and Lodi, are then in the ring cutting a self promo, and they also talk about their enemies at the moment, Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko, and this is a rating of 55. Sting and Randy Savage, this is before the main event takes place, and they're just saying that they've got Bret Hart's back. If the NWO try anything tonight, we've got his back. You haven't got to worry, Bret. You have got some friends in this business. The last month has been pretty tough on you, but you have got friends in this business, and we're there for you if you need us. Rating of 63. And then the main event, Bret Hart versus Curt Hennig. Great heat and decent wrestling. Bret Hart defeated Curt Hennig in 11 minutes when Curt Hennig was disqualified after Hollywood Hulk Hogan ran in and attacked Bret Hart. A rating of 74. I kind of knew this would get a decent score. Maybe I expected a bit more, really. Bret Hart and Curt Hennig, they had some awesome matches in the early 90s. I know a few years has passed, but even so. But still, 74 isn't too bad. And I know you can't see it because I do block this box out, but Bret Hart benefited from having a groundswell of public support. Post-match, the NWO are beating down Bret, but then he is saved by Sting, Savage, and the Giant, and they scare off the NWO. Total rating of 60. And yeah, 64. Our scores are going down, not up. I can't wait until I can mould the roster as to how I want it. I definitely need to start getting some of the younger guys over. This isn't good reading. 64 just isn't great, but it's another one in the bag. It's another one where we are just, and I do this every time I play as WCW, no matter what the say, no matter what the era, really. I struggle, and particularly in the late 90s, early 2000s, it's a really difficult roster to work with. I mean, any tips and hints would be great. But as I say, it's another one in the bag. Week 1 of January is out the way, and I hope you've liked this one. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone so far who has watched. I do record these episodes way in advance, at least a month at the moment. So at the time of recording this, episode 1 hasn't even gone out, so I don't know what the reaction is at the moment. But thank you if you have watched it. And I'll see you all again soon for episode 7. Goodbye.